Alrighty. Well, good morning, people. I just finished making a video and I'm chilling at the abandoned mall again. And I've decided to make another video this morning. It's basically a video that I really wanted to talk about earlier today, but then I had to get going because my volunteer work was starting. And today, one thing I want to talk about is why you should judge a person based on their character rather than judging someone based off their labels. And I know a video like this is probably going to trigger a lot of people, but I think it's something that people should really think about. And the thing is that nowadays we're in a very, very divisive climate. We're very, very divided in today's age. And we're divided not just based off of political views, but we're divided based on religion, race, and all of that. And in this country, in America, we're supposed to be the melting pot. We're supposed to be a country where we have all different kinds of cultures and we all get along with each other. But I've heard from so many people nowadays that the world is more divided than it's ever been. Sorry. Oh god, that sounded bad. Than it's ever been. And so I wanted to talk about that. And I want to talk about why when you meet people, you shouldn't judge them based off of their labels or based off their ideologies or religion or whatever. You should base how you feel about someone based on their character. And the reason I say this is because I myself am a bit more liberal leaning than conservative leaning. However, I've met people from both ends of the political spectrum that I absolutely can't stand. There's people on the far alt-right and the far alt-left that just irritate me to the core. I mean, I just can't spend more than 30 seconds being around. And the thing is that I've also met people in my life who are really wonderful on both ends of the political spectrum. I mean, most of my friends are more liberal leaning, but I've met some conservative people who are wonderful human beings, who are good human beings, who care about people. And the thing is that I've learned is that what matters more than what someone labels themselves as, whether that be Christian, atheist, whatever political ideology, conservative, Democrat, whatever movement you follow, what matters more than what they identify as is, can this person listen and understand and respect? Like, can this person listen to your side of things, to your perspective, and either agree or disagree respectfully and try and understand things from your point of view? Because honestly, you could be on the complete opposite end of the political spectrum as I am, or have beliefs that are complete opposite to mine. But if you're someone who's a great listener, who's respectful, who's willing to open their mind and look at things from someone else's point of view, that's good enough for me. Because I've met people like that. I've met people who disagree with everything I say, but they disagree very respectfully, and that's what matters more. On the other hand, I've also met people in my life who agree with everything I say, but they're absolute a-holes. They're not respectful of the other perspective. I've had friends in the past who are liberal, but are absolutely bigoted towards conservatives, intolerant towards conservatives. I've had liberal friends who shove their views down conservative people's throats. I've seen all of it. I've seen the bad side of liberalism as someone who's followed it for quite some time, and I have to say I'm not for that kind of behavior. I'm not for the radical liberal movements because they're just as bad as the radical conservative ones. They're completely intolerant of other people, including people that aren't as radical as them. They're hell-bent on shoving their views onto other people. It's just unacceptable. And I'm slowly learning as well too that people really don't care what I follow. People don't have that kind of time and energy to devote themselves to caring that much about what I think or how I view things. You know, they have their own agendas in their mind. They have their own perspectives, you know. And people just, in general, they don't have the time to really devote to caring about what I do or what I follow. As long as what I do, as long as what I believe in doesn't harm the other people, as long as it doesn't directly impact their lives, they don't really care. So I think, you know, my advice is, you know, don't follow something or believe in something just to make someone else happy, because at the end of the day, most of the time other people just don't care. You know, follow what you think is right, follow what you believe, as long as it's not harmful to other people. And, you know, if you're wrong, you learn and you move forward. You know, it's all part of the growing process. You don't overthink it, you don't make yourself feel guilty, you don't shame yourself, you learn and move on and just progress in life. Because trust me, like, people shouldn't care. People shouldn't be obsessed over what you follow, because if people are, then they have an issue. So I just wanted to get that out there. You know, I think the important thing in life is not to focus so much on what someone's label is or where they're from or what they follow, but focus on the person themselves. And the hard part about that is that takes time. You actually have to conversate with people and get to know them and really understand them and think and do research, but people don't want to do that. You know, when people, because like the thing is that one thing I've noticed too is that, like, ideologies, especially in the political realm, always try to paint the other side as being bad. That's extremely common, and everybody knows it. You know, and it's easy for us to link the idea that, oh, well, this guy's conservative and he's really douchey, so that must mean that all conservatives are douchebags. You know, and vice versa. But in all honesty, I don't think it's so, like, when someone is pushy and bigoted, it's not so much an ideology flaw, it's more of a character flaw. Because, like, in my life, when someone likes to shove their views down someone else's throat, it's usually not their ideology that pushes them to do that. It's usually them. It's usually part of their character. You know, and I've noticed that. Like, for example, I had a friend who was a part of this radical cult once, and he loved shoving his beliefs down other people's throats. And eventually, he actually got banned from the cult because he started doing things that were unacceptable. And the thing is that when he left, when he disengaged from that ideology, you would think that he would turn into a better person, but he didn't. He still loved shoving views down other people's throats. It just wasn't religious views anymore. Now it was political views. Now it was views on school and education. It's a character fault. And so when you meet people, when you learn about people, you got to pay attention to their character, not so much their ideologies or their labels. Because trust me, you're going to meet a lot of awful people from all different kinds of religions, political parties, ideologies, and then you're going to meet a lot of great people too. So my advice is keep an open mind, pay attention to character, don't focus on labels and all that other stuff. Just focus on the individual, and you'll meet some great people in life. That's all I have for today.